Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Ask the Coach. So this week I'm answering the question, how do I shop for probiotics? What should I be looking for? So whether you have personally decided that probiotics make sense for you and your family, or perhaps a doctor has made the suggestion, it can be overwhelming to shop for probiotics because there are now so many different brands and they're at different price points. Some are like $15, others can cost you $70. So I'm actually going to show you a few different probiotics that we've used in my household that have been recommended by various doctors so that you can at least get a sense of the range that's out there. So the first one I'm going to start with are a super popular brand that you may have seen at the store. In this case, it's Culturelle. They make both a kid's version as well as an adult version. And so Culturelle is a very affordable probiotic. It's a fairly simple one as well because it contains only one strain of bacteria. And the adult varies either 5 billion units or 10 billion if you're doing the children versus adult dose. Now, the thing with probiotics I want to mention first off is that you'll see that there's a varying number of strains. They can be single strain like Culturelle. There are some, which I'll show you shortly, have like 29 strains of bacteria. In terms of why you should choose one versus the other, on one hand, the single strain that's in Culturelle has been widely studied so that you know it's effective, and it is more affordable to have fewer strains. The advantage to potentially going with something with multiple strains is that the gut biome is still being actively researched, and scientists aren't 100% certain yet which bacteria strains cause certain positive effects on your health. And so there's something to be said for the idea of using a lot of strains so that you can potentially achieve a greater variety of benefits. And also you don't necessarily know what in your gut you're personally missing. In general, a healthy gut has a diverse number of bacteria and in a good amount, neither too much nor too little. So that's the reasoning behind why some of the more expensive probiotics do have more strains. The example I'll show in that regard is one called Prescripticist Pro. And so this has 29 strains of probiotics, plus it's also got what are called soil-based organisms. And so many of you are familiar with the hygiene hypothesis, which is that we've been washing our hands too much, that there's beneficial bacteria in soil that we're now no longer exposed to. And so some of the probiotics, including Prescripticist, will include these soil-based organisms with the thought that that's helpful to your immune system. Another one that I've talked about previously, which is Florastor, and this is Saccharomyces boulardii, which is technically a yeast that actually helps the good bacteria in your gut grow, and it actually helps to counteract candida overgrowth if you're concerned about taking it. And this is also, I would say, kind of moderately priced. You can get it at any store, Target, Costco, you name it. But this one is terrific for when you're on antibiotics because it is a yeast and can't be killed by an antibiotic. So it can help to offset some of those feelings where you get GI distress if you're on antibiotics. And then the last one I will show is this one, Philips Colon Health, which was recommended to me by my functional medicine gastroenterologist. This one kind of strikes a happy medium where there are 3 strains of bacteria in it, and the price point is a little bit under $20. So I know that's a lot to take in, but I think the key takeaways are you need to consider if you want a single strain versus multiple strains of beneficial bacteria. In terms of count, you might see 5 billion, 10 billion. I've seen some probiotics that are 100 billion. The one thing I'll warn you about is if you have small intestine bacteria overgrowth, sometimes a large bacteria count can actually be detrimental. And I also wanted to mention for anyone who's new to taking probiotics, you may notice the first few days, even a week, that you might feel more bloated or gassy as your GI system gets used to it, and then that feeling can pass. If it doesn't pass, it's definitely something you should mention to your doctor, but don't be surprised if you initially feel more bloated. So I really hope that that helps you all as you're trying to navigate your way into the waters of taking probiotics, and I'll be talking to you all soon.